Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We praise Yahweh. We take this opportunity, brothers and sisters, to invite you as we are reading the word of Yahweh, the journey through the scriptures. And we invite you to be part of this awesome journey where we'll be reading and hearing the word of Yahweh. And we know how powerful the word of Yahweh is. And we are reading through the journey through scriptures. This is episode 7. We are reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 21 to Numbers, chapter 36. May you be blessed.
Thank you, my brother. As we continue through the journey, we also thank Abba Yahweh for this far. Even to going ahead, we also seek for his presence to be upon us and to be upon you as we continue through. As we start from chapter 20 to 36, we invite you to go through with us, together with us, to the end, to the honor and glory to Yahweh. Be blessed. My name once again is Zachariah. Thank you.
Numbers chapter 20. Then came the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, into the desert of Sin in the first month, and the people adobbed in Kadesh, and Miriam died there and was buried there. And there was no water for the congregation, and they gathered themselves together against Moshe and against Aaron. And the people chode with Moshe and spoke, saying, if only that we had died when our brothers died before Yahweh. And why have you brought up the congregation of Yahweh into the wilderness, that we and our cattle should die there? And wherefore have you made us to come up out of Egypt, to bring us into this evil place? It is no place of seed, or of the figs, or of the vines, or the pomegranates, neither is there any water to drink. And Moses and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they fell upon their faces, and the glory of Yahweh appeared unto them. And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, saying, take the rod and gather you the assembly together, you and Aaron your brother, and speak unto the rock before their eyes, and it shall give forth his water, and you shall bring forth to them water out of the rock, so that you shall give the congregation and their beasts to drink. And Moshe took the rod from before Yahweh, as he commanded him. And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock, and he said unto them, hear now, you rebels, must we fetch you water out of this rock? And Moses lifted up his hand, and with the rod he smote the rock twice, and the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank, and their beasts. And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe and Aaron, because you believed me not to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore you shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them. This is the water of Meribah, because the children of Israel strove with Yahweh, and he was sanctified in them. And Moses sent messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Edom. Thus said thy brother Israel, you know all the travail that has befallen us, how our father went down into Egypt, and we have dealt in Egypt a long time. And the Egyptian vexed us and our fathers. And when we cried unto Yahweh, he heard our voices and said, an angel, and hath brought us from out of Egypt, and behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of thy border. Let us pass, I pray you, through your country. We will not pass through the fields or through the vineyards. Neither will we drink of the water of the wells. We will go by the king's highway. We will not turn to the right hand, nor to the left, until we have passed your borders. And Edom said unto him, you shall not pass by me, lest I come out against you with a sword. And the children of Israel said unto him, we will go by the highway, and if I and the cattle drink of your water, then I will pay for it. I will only, without doing anything else, go through on my feet. And he said, you shall not go through. And Edom came out against him with much people and with a strong hand. Thus Edom refused to give Israel passage through his border. Wherefore Israel turned away from him. And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh, and he came unto Mount Hor. And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe and Aaron in Mount Hor, by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Israel, because you rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah. Take Aaron and Eleazar his son, and bring them up unto Mount Hor, and stripe Aaron of his government, and put them upon Eleazar his son, and Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, and shall die there. And Moses did as Yahweh commanded, and they went up to the Mount Hor in the sight of the congregation. And Moses stripped Aaron and his garment, and put them upon Eleazar his son. And Aaron died there in the top of the mount, and Moses and Eleazar came down from the mount. And when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, they mourned for Aaron 30 days, even all the house of Israel. The book of Numbers, chapter 21. And when King Arad, the Canaanite which dwelt in the south, heard until that Israel came by the way of the spies, then he fought against Israel and took some of them prisoners. And Israel vowed a vow unto Yahweh and said, if you will indeed deliver these people into the hands, then I will utterly destroy their cities. And Yahweh hearkened to the voice of Israel, and delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them in their cities. And he called the name of the place Hormah. And they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to compass the land of Edom. And the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. And the people spoke against Yah Elohim and against Moshe, wherefore have you fought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, there is no any water, and our soul loved this light bread. And Yahweh sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. Therefore the people came to Moshe and said, we have sinned, for you have spoken against Yahweh, that he take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And Yahweh said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when he looked upon it, shall live. And Moses made a serpent of brass, and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. And the children of Israel set forward and pitched in Oboth. And they journeyed from Oboth and pitched at Ijeribarim, in the wilderness which is before Moab, towards the sun rising. For thence they removed and pitched the valley of Zared. From thence they removed and pitched on the other side of Amronon, which is the wilderness, and camped out of the coast of the Amorites. For Arnon is the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. Wherefore it is said in the book of the words of Yahweh, what he did in the Red Sea and in the brook of Amron, and the stream of the brook that goes down to the dwelling of the Ar, and lieth upon the border of Moab. And from thence they went to Beer. That is the well, therefore Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, gather the people together, and I will give them water. Then Israel sang this song, spring up, O well, sing ye unto it. The prince digged at the well, the nobles of the people digged it by the direction of the lawgiver with their staves. And from the wilderness they went to Matana, and from Matana to Nahaliel, and from Nahaliel Badom. And from Badom is a valley that is in the country of Moab, to the top of Pisgah, which looks toward Chimoshin. And the Israelites sent messengers unto Shiloh, king of the Amorites, saying, let me pass through the land, we will not turn into the field or into the vineyard, we will not drink of the waters of the well, but we will go along by the king's highway until we pass your borders. And Shiloh will not suffer Israel to pass through its border, but Shiloh gathered all his people towards, and went out against Israel into the wilderness. And he came to Jahaz, and fought against Israel. And Israel smote him with the edge of the sword, and possessed his land of Armon, and to Jabbok, even to the children of Ammon, and the border of the children of Ammon was strong. And Israel took all this city, and Israel dwelt in, and Israel took all this city, and Israel dwelt in all the city of Amorites, in Heshbon, and in all the village therefore. For Heshbon was the city of Shiloh, the king of the Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab, and taken all his land out of his hand, even to Arnon. Wherefore, they that speak in Proverbs say, come into Heshbon, let the city of Shimon be built and prepared. For there is a fire gone out of Heshbon, a flame from the city of Shiloh. It hath consumed Ar of Moab, and the masters of the high places of Arnon. Woe to you, Moab, you art undone, O people of Chimose. He has given his son that is split, and his daughters into captivity, unto Shiloh the king of the Amorites. We have shot at them. Heshbon is perished even unto Dibon, and we have laid them waste, even unto Nophah, which reached unto Medaba. Thus says Israel dwelt in the land of Amorites. And Moshe sent to spy out Jazer, and they took the village therefore and drove out the Amorites that were there. And they turned and went up by the way of Bashan, and Og, the king of Bashan, went out against them, he and all his people, to the battle of Edrei. And Yahweh said unto Moses, fear him not, for I am delivered him into the hands, and all his people, and all his son, and all his do to him, as you did unto Sheho, king of the Amorites, which dwell at Heshbon. So they smote him and his son and all his people until there was none left him alive, and they possessed his land.
Numbers chapter number 22. And the children of Israel departed and camped in the desert plains of Moab, beyond the Jordan of Jericho. And Barak son of Zippor saw all the Israel had done to the Amorites. And Moab was exceedingly afraid of the people, because they were many. And Moab was dread because of the children of Israel. And Moab said to the elders of Midian, now the company of is licking up all that is beyond us, as an ox lick up the grass of the field. Now Barak son of Zippor was sovereign of the Moabites at that time. And he sent messengers to Balaam son of Beor, or Pezo, which is near the river, in the land of the son of his people, to call him, saying, see, a people has come from Mitzrayim. See, they have covered the surface of the land, and they have covered the surface of the land and are setting next to me. And now please come cast these people from me, for they are too strong for me. It might be that I smite them and drive them out of the land. For I know that he whom you barak is Baruch, and he whom you curse is cursed. And the elder of Moab and the elders of the Midian left with divination fee in their hand, and they came to Balaam and spoke the words of Barak to him. And he said to them, spend the night here, and I shall bring back word to you as thou speak to me. So the heads of the Moab stayed with Balaam. And Elohim came to Balaam and said, who are these men with you? And Balaam said to Elohim, Barak son of Zippor, a sovereign of Moab, has sent to me, saying, see, a people has become out of Mitzrayim and cover the surface of the land. Come now, cast them for me. Cast them for me. It might be that I am able to fight against them and drive them out. And Elohim said to Balaam, do not go with them. You do not cast the people, for they are Barak. And Balaam rose in the morning and said to the head of Barak, go back to your land, for Yahweh has refused to allow me to go with you. And the heads of the Moab arose and went to Barak and said, Balaam refuses to come with us. Then Barak again sent head of more numerous and more esteemed than they, and they came to Balaam and said to him, this is what Barak son of Zippor said, do not be withheld from coming to me, please, for I esteem you very greatly, and whatever you say to me, I do. Therefore, please come, cast these people for me. And Balaam answered and said to the servants of Barak, though Barak were to give me his house filled with silver and gold, I am unable to go beyond the word of Yahweh, my Elohim, to do less or more. And now, please, you also stay here tonight, and let me find what more Yahweh says to me. Elohim came to Balaam at night and said to him, if the men come to call you, rise and go with them, but only the word which I speak to you, that you do. And Balaam rose in the morning and saddled his donkey, and he went with the heads of the Moab. But the displeasure of Elohim burned because he went, and the messenger of Yahweh stationed himself in the way as an adversary against him. And he was riding on his donkey, and his two servants were with him. And the donkey saw the messenger of Yahweh standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand. And the donkey turned aside out of the way and went into the field. So Balaam beat the donkey to turn her back onto the way. Then the messenger of Yahweh stood in a narrow passage between the vineyard, with a wall on this side and a wall on the other side. And when the donkey saw the messenger of Yahweh, she pushed herself against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, so he beat her again. And the messenger of Yahweh went further and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn aside right or left. And when the donkey saw the messenger of Yahweh, she lay down under Balaam. So Balaam dispatched a band, and he beat the donkey. With the staff. Then Yahweh opened his mouth, the mouth of the donkey, and he said to Balaam, "What have I done to you that you have beaten me these 3 times?" And Balaam said to the donkey, "Because you have mocked me. If there was a sword in my hand, for I would have killed you by now." And the donkey said to Balaam, Am I not your donkey, on which you have ridden ever since I became yours to this day? Was I ever known to do so to you? And he said, "No." Then Yahweh opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the messenger of Yahweh standing in the way, with his drawn sword in his hand. And he bowed in his head and fell on his face. And the messenger of Yahweh said to him, "Why have you beaten your donkey these 3 times? See, I have come out to stand against you, because your way is reckless before me." And the donkey saw me and turned aside from me these 3 times. If she had not turned aside from me, I certainly would have killed you by now and let her live. Balaam said to the messenger of Yahweh, "I have sinned, for I did not know you stood in the way against me. And now, if evil is in your eyes, let me turn back." And the messenger of Yahweh said to Balaam, "Go with the men, but only the word that I speak to you, that you speak." Balaam went with them, with the head of Barak. And when Barak heard that Balaam was coming, he went out to meet him at the city of Moab, which is in the border at Arnon, which was in the extremity of the border. And Barak said to Balaam, "Did I not urgently send to you, calling for you? Why did you not come to me? And am I not able to esteem you?" And Balaam said to Barak, "See, I have come to you. Now am I at all able to say somewhat? And then the word of Elohim puts in my mouth that I speak." And Balaam went with Barak, and they came to the Kirtha Hutzok. And Barak slaughtered cattle and sheep, and he sent some to Balaam and to the heads who were with him. And it came to be in the morning that Barak took Balaam and brought him up to the high places of Baal, and from there he saw the extremity of the camp. And Balaam said to Barak, Numbers chapter number 23, verses number 1. And Balaam said to Barak, "Build 7 altars for me here, and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me here." And Barak did as Balaam had spoken, and Balaam offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Balaam then said to Barak, "Stand by your burnt offering, and let me go on. I might be that Yahweh comes to meet me, and whatever he shows me, I shall declare to you." And he went to a bare height, and Elohim came to Balaam, and he said to him, "I have prepared the 7 altars, and I have offered on each altar a bull and a ram." And Yahweh put a word in the mouth of Balaam and said, "Return to Barak, and this word is what you say." And he returned to him and saw him standing by his burnt offering, and he and all the heads of the Moab. And he took up his proverb and said, "Barak the sovereign of Moab has brought me from Aram, from the mount of the east. Come curse Jacob for me, and come range at Israel. How do I curse whom Elohim has not cursed? And how do I range at whom Yahweh has not ranged? For from the top of the rock I see him, and from the hill I observe him. Look, a people dwelling alone, not reckoning itself among the nations, who shall count the dust of Jacob and the number of 1/5, 1/4 of the Israel. Let me die the death of the upright, and let my end be like his. And Barak said to Balaam, and what have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and look, you have kept on Barakah. And he answered and said, should I not take heed to speak what Yahweh has put in my mouth? And Barak said to him, please come with me to another place from where you see them. You only see the extremity, but not all of them. Cast them for me from there. And he took him to the field of Sophim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. And he said to Barak, stand here by your burnt offering, while I meet over there. And I came to Balaam and put a word in his mouth and said, go back to Barak and say this. So he went to him and saw him standing by his burnt offering, and the heads of the Moab with him. And Barak said to him, what did Yahweh say? And he took up his proverb and said, rise up, Barak, and hear. Listen to me, son of Zipho. El is not a man to lie, and nor a man, nor son of a man to repent. He has said, and would he not do it, or spoken, or would not confirm it? See, I have received to Barak, and he has Barak, and I do not reverse it. He has not looked upon wickedness in Jacob, nor has he seen trouble in Israel. Yahweh his Elohim is with him, and the shout of a sovereign is in him. El, who brought them out of the Mitzrayim, is for them like the horn of a wild ox. For there is no sorcery against Jacob, nor is there any divination against Israel. Now it is said to Jacob and to Israel, what has El done? Look, a people rises like a lioness and lifts itself up like a lion. It lies not down until it devours the prey and drink the blood of the slain. And Barak said to Balaam, do not curse them at all, nor barak them at all. And Balaam answered and said to Barak, have I not spoken to you, saying, all that Yahweh speaks, that I do? And Barak said to Balaam, please come, let me take you to another place. It might be right in the eyes of Elohim that you cast them for me from there. And Barak took Balaam to the top of Peor that overlooks the wasteland. And Balaam said to Barak, build 7 altars for me, and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me. Barak did as Balaam had said, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Numbers chapter number 24. And when Balaam saw that it pleased Yahweh to Barak Israel, he did not go as at other times to seek to use sorcery, but he put his face towards the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes and saw Israel encamped according to their tribes, and the ruach of Elohim came upon him. And he said a proverb and said, the saying of Balaam, son of Beor, the saying of the man whom eyes are open, the saying of him who hears the word of El, who sees the visions of El Shaddai, who falls down with eyes opened wide. How good are you tent? How good are your tents, O Yaakov, your dwellings, O Israel? Like wadis that stretch out, like gardens by a river, like arrows planted by Yahweh, like cedar besides water. He makes water flow from his buckets, and his seed is in many waters. His sovereign is higher than Agag, and his reign is exalted. El, who brought him out of Mitzrayim, is for them like the horn of a wild ox, and he devours nation, his enemies, and he breaks their bones, and he strikes through with their arrows. He bowed down, he laid down like a lion, and like a lion who would rouse him. Baruch is he who barak you, and cursed is he who curses you. Then the displeasure of Barak burned against Balaam, and he struck his hand together. Barak then said to Balaam, I summoned you to curse my enemies, and see, you have kept on Barakah these 3 times, and now flee to your place. I said, I will greatly esteem you, and see, Yahweh has kept you back from esteem. And Balaam said to Barak, Did I not also speak to your messengers, whom you sent to me, saying, if Barak should give me his house filled with silver and gold, I am unable to go beyond the word of Yahweh, to do either good or evil, or my own heart. What Yahweh speaks, that I speak. And now see, I am going to my people. Come, let me advise you what this people is going to do to your people in the later days. And he took up his proverb and said, The saying of Balaam, son of Beor, and the saying of the man whom eyes are opened, the saying of him who hears the word of El, and who knows the knowledge of the Most High, who sees the vision of El Shaddai, who falls down with eyes opened wide. I see him, but now I observe him, but not near. A star shall come out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise upon out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and shall destroy all the sons of Sheth, and Edom, and I shall be a possession, and Seir shall be a possession, enemies, and Israel is doing mightily. And a ruler shall come from Jacob, and destroy the remnant from Ar. He then looked at Amalek, and he looked up his proverb, and said, Amalek was first among the nations, but his later end is to perish forever. But he looked on the Canaanites, and he took up his proverb and said, Firm is your dwelling place, and your nest is placed in the rock. But Cain is to be burned, till when he does Ashur keep you captive. And he took up his proverb and said, O who lives when El does this, and ships shall come from the coast of Kittim, and they shall afflict Ashur, and afflict Eber, and so shall Amalek, and he also perishes. And Balaam arose and left, and returned to his place, and Barak also went his way.
Numbers chapter number 25, verse number 1. And Israel dwelt in Shittim, and the people began to whore with the daughters of Moab, and they invited the people to slaughterings of the Yamite ones, and the people ate and bowed down to the Yamite ones. Thus Israel was joined to Baal Peor. And the displeasure of Yahweh burned against Israel, and Yahweh said to Moshe, Take all the leaders of the people and hang them up before Yahweh, before the sun, so that the burning displeasure of Yahweh turns away from Israel. And Moshe said to the judges of Israel, Each one of you slay his men who are joined to Baal Peor. And see, one of the children of Israel came and brought his brothers a Midianite woman before the eyes of Moshe, before the eyes of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping in the door of the tent of appointment. And when Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the Kohen, saw it, he arose up and among the congregation and took a spear in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through the man of Israel, and the woman through her abdomen. Thus the plague among the children of Israel came to a stop, and those who died in the plague were 24,000. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the Kohen, has turned back my wrath from the children of Israel, because he was ardent with my ardor in the midst, so that I did not consume the children of Israel in my ardor. Therefore say, see, I am giving him my covenant of peace, and it shall be to him and to his seed after him a covenant of as an everlasting kehunah, because he was ardent to his Elohim and made atonement for the children of Israel. And the name of the Israelite who was killed who was killed with the Midianite woman, was Zimri, son of Saru, a reader of the fathers of the house among the Shimonites. And the name of the Midianite woman was killed was Cosbi, the daughter of Sul. He was the head of the people of the father's house in Midian. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, distress the Midianites, and you shall smite them. For they distressed you in the tricks with which they deceived you in the matter of Peol, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of Arida of Midian, the sister who was killed in the day of the plague because of Peol. Numbers chapter number 26, verse number 1. And it came to be after the plague that Yahweh spoke to Moshe and Eleazar the son of Aaron the Kohen, saying, take a census of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and above by their fathers, houses everyone going to the army in Israel. So Moshe and Eleazar the Kohen spoke with them in the desert plains of Moab by the Yarden of the Edro, saying, from 20 years and old and above, as Yahweh has commanded Moshe and the children of Israel, who came out of the land of Mizraim. Reuben the firstborn, Israel the sons of Reuben, of Hanok, the clan of the Hanokites, of Palu, the clan of Paroites, of Hezron, the clan of the Hezronites, the Carmi of the clan of the Carmanites. These are the clans of the Reubenites, and the registered ones were 43,730. And the son of Paru Eliab, and the son of Paru Eliab, and the sons of Eliab, Namuel and Datham, and Abiram, and this Datham and Abiram were called ones of the congregation who contended against Moshe and against Aaron in the company of Korah, when contended against Yahweh. And the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them together with Korah when the company died, when the fire consumed 250 men, and they became a sign. But the sons of Korah did not die. Sons of Shimon according to their clans, Nemuel the clan of the Nemorites, and Yamin the clan of Yemenites, and Yakin and the clan of Yakites, of Zerah, and the clan of the Yazrites, and of Shaul, the clan of Shaulites. These are the clans of the Shimonites, 22,100. Sons of Gad according to their clans, Zephon, the clan of Zephonites, and Hagi, the clan of Hagites, and Shumi, the clan of Shunites, and of Ozni, the clan of the Oznites, and of Eri, the clan of Erinites, Erites, of Arod, the clan of Arodites, of Areli, the clan of Arelites. These are the clans of sons of Gad according to the registered ones, 40,500. Sons of Yehuda, El of Onan, and El of Nonan died on the land of Canaan. And sons of Yehuda according to their clans, as Shelah, the clan of Shelarites, and Peret, the clan of Perizzites, and Zerah, the clan of Zerites. And the sons of Peret of Hezron, the clan of Hezronites, of Hamru, the clan of Hamrites. These are the clans of Yehuda according to their registered 176,500. Sons of Issachar according to their clans of Torah, the clan of the Torahites of Puah, the clan of Punites, and Yashub, the clan of Yashubites, and Oshimlon, the clan of Shimolites. These are the clans of Yesakal according to their registered 164,300. Sons of Zebulun according to their clans of Sered, the clan of Seradites, of Eron, and the clan of Erorites, and Yachrel, the clan of Jachrelites. And these are the clans of the Yeburanites according to their registered 160,500. Sons of Joseph according to their clans, by Manasseh and Ephraim. Sons of Manasseh, of Machil, the clan of Macronites, and Machil, bought from Gilead, of Gilead, the clan of Gileadites. These are the sons of Gilead, of Yezel, the clan of Yezerites, and of Herek, the clan of Herekites, and Asri, the clan of Asrikites, and Shechem, the clan of Shechemites, and of Shemida, the clan of the Shemidites, of Hepher, the clan of the Hepherites, and Sephehad, the son of Haphel. They had no son, but daughters, and the names of the daughters are Sephirite, Demina, and Noach, and Hogram, Mika, and Sat. These are the clans of Manasseh, and their registers 152,700. These are the sons of Ephraim according to their clans, of Shuderah, the clan of Shuderites, and Becca, the clan of Berakites, and Tutahan, the clan of Tehanites, And these are the sons of Sudera, of Elam, and the clan of Elamites. These are the clans of the sons of Ephraim according to the registered ones, 32,500. These are the sons of Joseph according to their clans. Sons of Benjamin according to their clans, of Bera, of the clan of Berarites, of Ashbel, the clan of Ashbelites, of Elam, the clan of Ahimerites, and of Shepham, the clan of Shephamites, of the Hupam, the clan of the Huphamites. And the sons of Bera were Ad and Naaman and Alod, and clan of Adidites and Naaman, and the clan of Naamanites. These are the sons of Benjamin according to their clans, and their registered ones 45,600. These are the sons of Dan according to their clans, of Sukham, the clan of the Sukhamites. These are the clans of Dan according to their clans. And all these, the clans of the Sukhamites according to their registered 164,400. Sons of Ashel according to their clans, of Yimna, the clan of the Yimnanites, of Yeshui, the clan of Yeshuites, Berea, the clan of Bererites, and of the sons of Berea, the Rehaba, the clan of Heberites, and of Merkiel, the clan of Merkielites. And the name of the daughter of Ashel was Sarah. These are the clans of the sons of Ashel according to their registered ones, 53,400. Sons of Naphtali according to their clans are Yezeel, and the clan of Jezreelites, and Guni, the clan of Gonites, and of Yetzer, the clan of Yezrites, the Shirem, the clan of Shilemites. These are the clans of Naphtali according to their clans, and the registered ones 45,400. These are registered ones of the children of Israel 601,730. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, the land is to be divided to this as inheritance according to the number of names. To the large one you give to a large inheritance, and to the small you give to the smaller inheritance. Each shall be given as its inheritance according to their registered ones. But the land is divided by lot; they inherit according to the names by the tribes of their fathers, according to the lot of the inheritance divided between a large and of the smaller. And these are the registered ones of the Levites according to their clans. Of Gershon, the clan of Gershonites, of Kehath, the clan of the Kehathites, of Merari, the clan of Merarites. These are the clans of the Levites, the clans of the Ribnites, of the clan of the Hebronites, the clan of the Mahrinites, the clan of the Mushites, and the clan of the Korhites. And the Kehath brought forth Amram, and of the name of Amram wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, who was born to Levi in Mizraim, and to Amram she bore Aaron and Moshe, and their sister Miriam. And to Aaron were born Nadab and Abihu, Eliezer, and Ithamar. And Nadab and Abihu died when they brought strange fire before Yahweh, and they registered once. And their registered one was 23,000 every male from a month old and above, for they were not registered among the other children of Israel, because there was no inheritance given to them among the children of Israel. These are the ones registered by Moshe and Eleazar the Kohen, who were registered the sons of Israel in the desert of plains of Moab, by the Jordan of Jericho. But among these was not a man of this registered by Moshe and Aaron the Kohen, when they registered the sons of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. For Yahweh had said, of them they shall certainly die in the wilderness, and not a man was left of them, except Caleb the son of Yephuneh, and Joshua the son of Nun. Bemidbar, or Numbers chapter number 27, verse number 1. Then came to the daughters of Sepharad, son of Hepher, son of Gera, son of Machri, son of Manasseh, son of the clans of Manasseh, son of Joseph. And these were the names of his daughters, Mahlah, Noha, and Nogra, and Milcah, and Tisa. And they stood before Moshe, and before Eleazar the Kohen, and before the elders, and all the congregation by the doorway of the tent of the appointment, saying, our father died in the wilderness, yet he was not in the company of those who were met together against Yahweh, in the company with Korah. But he died in his own sin, and he had no sons. Why should the name of our father be removed from among his clan, because he had no son? Give us a possession among the brothers of our father. Moshe then brought their case before Yahweh. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, the daughters of Sepharad speak what is right. You should certainly give them a possession of inheritance among their father's brothers, and cause the inheritance of their father to pass to them. and speak to the children of Israel, saying, when a man dies and has no son, then you shall cause his inheritance to pass to his daughter. And if he has no daughter, then you shall give his inheritance to his brothers. And if he has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to his father's brothers. And if his father has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to the nearest relative in his clan. And he shall possess it, and it shall be to the children of Israel a right ruling, or as Yahweh has commanded Moshe. And Yahweh said to Moshe, go up into the mount of Abarim, and see the land which I have given to the children of Israel. And when you have seen it, you also shall be gathered to your people as Aharon your brother was gathered, because you rebelled against my mouth in the wilderness of sin, in the strife of the congregation to kadosh me at the waters before their eyes. These were the waters of Meribah at Kadesh in the wilderness of sin. And Moshe spoke to Yahweh, saying, let Yahweh, the Elohim of the spirit of all flesh, appoint a man over the congregation, who goes out before them and comes in before them, who reads them out and brings them in, so that the congregation of Yahweh be not like the sheep without a shepherd. And Yahweh said to Moses, take Joshua, son of Nun, with you, a man in whom is the ruach, and you shall lay your hand on him, and shall stand him before Eleazar the Kohen and before all the congregation, and give him charge before their eyes, and shall put some of your esteem upon him, so that all the congregation of the children of Israel obey. And he is to stand before Eleazar the Kohen. So who shall inquire before Yahweh for him by the light ruling of the Urim? At the word they go out, and it is word they come in, both he and all the children of Israel with him. And all the congregation. And Moshe did as Yahweh commanded him, and took Joshua to stood before Eleazar the Kohen and before all the congregation, and laid his hands on him, and commissioned him as Yahweh had commanded by the hand of Moshe. Bemidbar, all Numbers, chapter number 28, verse number 1.
Book of Numbers, chapter 28, verses 1. Numbers 28, verses 1. And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, saying, command the children of Israel, and say unto them, my offering and my bread for my sacrifice made by fire for a sweet savor unto me, shall you observe to offer unto me in their due season. And you shall say unto them, this is the offering made by fire, which you shall offer unto Yahweh, 2 lambs for the first year without spot, day by day, for a continual burning offering. This 1 lamb shall you offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer at even. And a 10th part of an ephah of the flour for a meat offering, mingled with the 4th part of a hin of beaten oil. It's a continual burnt offering, which was ordained in Mount Sinai for a sweet savor, a sacrifice made by fire unto Yahweh. And the drink offering therefore shall you be the 4th part of an hin. For the 1 lamp in a holy place you shall cause the strong wine to be poured unto Yahweh for a drink offering. And the other lamp you shall offer at even, at the meat offering of the morning. And of the drink offering therefore you shall offer it a sacrifice made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahweh. And on the Sabbath day 2 lambs of the first year without spot, and 2/10 deals of the flour for a meat offering mingled with oil, and the drink offering therefore. This is the burnt offering of the Sabbath, beside the continual burnt offering, and his drink offering. And the beginnings of your months you shall offer a burnt offering unto Yahweh, 2 young bullocks, and 1 ram, 7 lambs for the first year without spot, and 3/10 deals of the flour of the meat of offering mingled with oil for 1 bullock, and 2/10 deal of flour for a meat offering mingled with oil for 1 ram. And a 7/10 deal of the flour mingled with oil for a meat offering unto 1 lamb for a burnt offering of a sweet savor, sacrifice made by fire unto Yahweh. And their drink offering shall be half an hin of wine unto a bullock, and a 1/3 part of a hin unto a ram, and a 4th part of the hin unto a ram. And this is the burnt offering of every month throughout the months of the year. And 1 kid of the goat for a sin offering unto Yahweh shall be offered beside the continual burnt offering and his drink offering. And in the 14th day of the first month is the Passover of Yahweh, and the 15th day of this month is the feast. 7 days shall unleavened bread be eaten. In the first day shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no manner of civil work therein, but you shall offer sacrifice made by fire for a burnt offering unto Yahweh, 2 young bullocks, and 1 ram, and 7 lambs for the first year. You shall be unto you without blemish. And their meat offering shall be a flour mingled with oil. 3/10 deals shall you offer for a bullock, and 2/10 deal for a ram. A several tenth deal shall you offer for every ram throughout the 7 lambs, and 1 goat for a sin offering, to make an atonement for you. You shall offer this beside the burnt offering in the morning, which is for a continual burnt offering. After this manner you shall offer daily, throughout the 7 days, the meat of the sacrifice made by fire, of a sweet savour unto Yahweh. It shall be offered beside the continual burnt offering, and its drink offering. And on the 7th day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no civil work. Also in the day of the first fruit, when you bring a new meat offering unto Yahweh, after your weeks be out, you shall have a holy convocation. You do no civil work. But you shall offer the burnt offering for a sweet savour unto Yahweh, 2 young bullock, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year, and their meat offering of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 deals unto the bullock, 2/10 deal unto the ram, a several 10th deal unto the lamb, and throughout the 7 lamb, and 1 kid of the goats, to make an atonement for you. You shall offer them beside the continual burnt offering and his meat offering. They shall be unto you without blemish, and their drink offering. Numbers chapter 29. In the 7th month of the first day of the month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no civil work. It is a day of blowing the trumpets out to you. And you shall offer a burnt offering for a sweet savour unto Yahweh, 1 young bullock and 1 ram, and the 7 lambs of the first year without blemish. And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil, and 3/10 deal of a bullock, and 2/10 deal for a ram, and 1/10 deal for 1 lamb throughout the 7 lambs, and 1 kid of the goat for a sin offering, to make an atonement for you. Beside the burnt offering of the month, and his meat offering, and the daily burnt offering, and his meat offering, and the drink offering according to their manner, for a sweet savour, a sacrifice made by fire unto Yahweh. And you shall have one of the 10th day of the 7th month, and a holy convocation, and you shall afflict your soul. You shall do no any work therein. But you shall offer a burnt sacrifice unto Yahweh for a sweet savour, 1 young bullock, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of the first year. They shall be unto you without blemish. And their meat offering shall be of flour mingled with oil, 3/10 deal to a bullock, and 2/10 deal to 1 ram, a several 10th deal for 1 lamb throughout the 7 lamb, 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, beside the sin offering of atonement, and the continual burnt offering, and the meat offering of it, and their drink offering. And on the 15th day of the 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation. You do no civil work. You shall keep the feast unto Yahweh 7 days. And you shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire, a sweet savour unto Yahweh, 13 young bullock, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year. They shall be without blemish. And their meat offering shall be a flour mingled with oil, 3/10 deal unto every bullock of the 13 bullock, 2/10 deal of each ram of the 2 rams, and a several 10th deal to each lamb of the 14 lambs, and 1 kid of the goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. And on the 2nd day you shall offer 12 meat offering thereof, and their drink offerings. And on the 3rd day 11 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish, and their meat offering and their drink offering. For the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number, after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, and his meat offering and his drink offering. On the 4th day 10th bullock, 2 rams, and 14 lambs for the first year without blemish. Their meat offering and their drink offering, for a bullock, for a rams, and for the lamb shall be according to their number, after the manner. And 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, his meat offering and his drink offering. And on the 5th day 9 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs for the first year without spot, and their meat offering and their drink offering, for the bullock, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number, after their manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering and his meat and his drink offering. And on the 6th day 8 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs for the first year without blemish. And their meat offering and their drink offering, for the bullock, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to the number, after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering, his meat offering and his drink offering. On the 7th day 7 bullock, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. And their meat offering and their drink offering, for the bullock, of the rams, of the lambs shall be according to the number, after the manner. And 1 goat for a sin offering, beside the continual burnt offering and his meat and his drink. On the 8th day you shall have a solemn assembly. You shall do no civil work therein, but you shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire, on a sweet savour unto Yahweh, 1 bullock, 1 ram, 7 lambs for the first year without blemish. Their meat offering and their drink offering, for a bullock, for rams, and for offering and his meat offering, and his drink offering. These things you shall do unto Yahweh in your set feast, beside your vows and your free will offering, for your burnt offering and for your meat offering, and for drink offerings and for peace offering. And Moshe told the children of Israel according to all that Yahweh commanded Moshe. The book of Numbers, chapter 30. And Moshe spoke unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which Yahweh hath commanded. If a man vow a vow unto Yahweh, nor swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. If a woman also vow a vow unto Yahweh, and bind herself by the bond, being in her father's house in her youth, and the father hear her vow and her bond whereto she has bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith he hath bound her soul shall stand. But if the father disallows her in the days that he hears not any of her vows of her bonds wherewith she has bound her soul shall stand, and Yahweh shall forgive her, because her father disallowed her. And if she had at all an husband, when she vowed or uttered aught out of her lips wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband had it and held his peace at her in the day that he had it, then her vow shall stand, and her bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if the husband disallowed her on the day that he had it, then he shall make a vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect, and Yahweh shall forgive her. But every vow a widow, and of her that is divorced, wherewith they have bound their soul, shall stand against her. And if she vowed in her husband's house, or bound her soul by a bond with an oath, and her husband had it and held his peace at her, and disallowed her not, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if the husband has utterly made them void on the day he had them, then whatsoever proceed out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning the bond of her soul, shall not stand. Her husband hath made void, and Yahweh shall forgive her. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul, her husband may establish it to her husband. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul, her husband may establish it, or her husband may make it void. But if husband altogether hold his peace at her from the day to day, then he establish all the vows and all her bonds which are upon her. He confirmed them, because he held his peace at her in the day that he had them. But if he shall anyway make a void after that he hath had them, he shall bear her iniquities. These are the statutes which Yahweh commanded Moshe, between a man and his wife, between the father and his daughter, being yet in her youth in her father's house.
Numbers chapter number 31. And I spoke to Moshe, saying, Take vengeance for the children of Israel on the Midianites. After that you are to be gathered to your people. And Moshe spoke to the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves for the campaign, and let them go against the Midianites, to take vengeance of Yahweh for Yahweh on Midian. Send 1,000 from each tribe of all the tribes of Israel for the campaign. So there were supplied from the tribe of Israel 1,000 from each tribe, 12,000 armed ones from the campaign. And Moshe sent them on the campaign 1,000 from each tribe. Then them and Phinehas, son of Eleazar the Kohen, on the campaign with the Kodesh utensils and the trumpet for sounding in his hand. And they fought against the Midianites, and Yahweh commanded Moshe, and slew all the males. And they slew the sovereign of the Midians with the rest of those who are pierced, Ewi and Rechem, and Sur and Hur and Reba, the 5 sovereigns of Midian. And they slew Balaam, son of Beor, with the sword. And the sons of Israel took all the women of Midian captive with their little ones, and took as spoil all their livestock and all their possessions. And they burned with fire all the cities where they dwelt, and all their settlements. And they took all the spoil and all the booty, both of man and beast. And they brought the captives and the booty and the spoil to Moshe, and to Eleazar the Kohen, and to the congregation of the children of Israel, to the camp in the desert plains of the Moab by the Jordan of Jericho. And Moshe and Eleazar the Kohen and all the leaders of the congregation went to meet them outside the camp. And Moshe was wroth with the officer of the army and with the commanders of the children and the commanders of hundreds who had come from the campaign. And Moshe said to them, have you kept all the women alive? Look, they are the ones who caused the children of Israel through the word of Balaam to trespass against Yahweh in the matter of Peor, and there was a plague among you, among the congregation of Yahweh. And now slay every male among the little ones, and every woman who has known a man by lying with a man who you shall slay. But keep alive for yourself all the female children who have not known a man by lying with a man. And you camp outside the camp 7 days. Whoever has slain any being, and whoever has touched any slain, cleanse yourselves and your captives, and on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. And cleanse every garment and every object of leather and whatever is made of goat's hair and every object of wood. And Eleazar the Kohen said to the men of the campaign who went to the battle, this law of the Torah which Yahweh commanded Moshe, and only the gold and the silver, the bronze and iron, and the tin and the lead, every object that passes through the fire, you put through the fire, and it shall be clean only. Let it be cleansed with the water for uncleanness. And whatever does not pass through the fire, pass through water. And you shall wash your garments on the 7th day and be clean. And afterwards come into the camp. And I spoke to Moshe, saying, count up the plunder that was taken of man and of beasts, you and Eleazar the Kohen, and the heads of the fathers and of the congregation. And you shall divide the plunder into 2 parts, between these who took part in the battle, who went out of the campaign, and all the congregation, and put aside a levy for Yahweh on the men of battle who went out of the campaign, one out of the every 5,000 of man, and of the cattle, and of the donkeys, and of the sheep. Take it from their half, and give it to Eleazar the Kohen as a contribution to Yahweh. And from the children of Israel, half of you shall take one of every 50 of man, of a cattle, and of donkey, and of the sheep, and of all the livestock, and give them to the Levites guarding the duty of the Mishkan of Yahweh. And Moshe and Eleazar the Kohen did as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And the booty remaining from the plunder which the people of the campaign had taken, it was 675,000 sheep, and 72,000 cattle, and 61,000 donkeys, and 31,000 human beings in all, of women who had not known a man by lying with a man. And the half and the portion for those who went out of the campaign was in number 337,500 sheep, and the levy unto Yahweh of the sheep was 675, and the cattle were 36,000, and which the levy unto Yahweh was 72, and the donkey were 30,500, of which the levy unto Yahweh was 61, and the human beings were 16,000, and of which the levy unto Yahweh was 32 beings. So Moshe gave the levy which was the contribution unto Yahweh to Eleazar the Kohen, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And from the children of Israel, half which Moshe divided from the men who campaigned, and not now the half belonging to the congregation was 337,500 sheep, and 36,000 cattle, and 30,500 donkeys, and 6,000 human beings. And then Moshe took from the children of Israel half, one out of the every 50 drawn from the man and beast, and gave them to the Levites, who guard the duty of the Mishkan of Yahweh, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And the officers who were over thousands of the campaign, and the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds, and came near to Moshe And they said to Moshe, your servants have taken account of the fighting men under our command, and not a man of us is missing. So we have brought an offering for Yahweh, what every man found of ornament of gold, armlets and bracelets and signets, rings and earrings and necklaces, to make atonement for ourselves before Yahweh. And Moshe and Eleazar the Kohen received the gold from them and all the ground fashioned ornament, and all the gold and all the gold of the offering that they presented to Yahweh from the commanders of the thousands and commanders of hundreds was 16,750 shekel. The men of the campaign had taken spoil every man for himself, and Moshe and Eleazar the Kohen received the gold from the commander of thousands and of hundreds, and brought it into the tent of appointment as a remembrance for the children of Israel before Yahweh. Numbers chapter number 32, verses 1, it says, and the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had much livestock, a larger number, and they saw that the land of Yazah and the land of Gilad, and saw that the place was a place for livestock. So the children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spoke to Moshe and to Eleazar the Kohen and to the leader of the congregation, saying, Atroth and Dibon and Yazer and Nimrah and Heshbon and Eleale and Sebam and Nebo and Beon, the land of which Yahweh has smitten before the congregation of Israel, is the land for livestock, and your servant have livestock. And they said, if we have found favor in your eyes, let this land be given to your servants as a possession, and do not let us pass over the Yarden. And Moshe said to the children of Gad and the children of Reuben, are you brothers to go into the battle, while yourselves sit here? Now why do you discourage the heart of the children of Israel from passing over into the land which Yahweh has given them? Thus your father did when I sent them away from Kadesh Barnea to see the land. For when they went up to the Wadi Eshkol and saw the land, they discouraged the heart of the children of Israel, so that they did not go into the land which Yahweh had given them. Then the displeasure of Yahweh burned on that day, and he swore an oath, saying, no one of the men who came up from Mizraim from 20 years old and above is to see the land of which I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because they did not follow me completely, except Caleb son of Yefuneh and the Kenizzite, and Yehoshua the son of Nun, for they has followed Yahweh completely. So the displeasure of Yahweh burned against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years, until all the generation that have done evil in the eyes of Yahweh was destroyed. And see, you have risen in your father's place, an increase of men, sinners, to add still more the burning displeasure of Yahweh against Israel. For if you turn away from following him, he shall once again leave them in the wilderness, and you shall destroy all these people. Then they came near to him and said, let us build sheep enclosures here for our livestock, and cities for our little ones. But let us ourselves be armed, hastening before the children of Israel, until we have brought them to their place, and our little ones shall dwell in their walled cities, because of the inhabitants of the land. We shall not return to our home until every one of the children of Israel has received his inheritance, for we shall not inherit with them on the other side of the Yarden and beyond, because our inheritance has fallen to us on the eastern side of Yarden. And Moshe said to them, if you make this promise, if you arm yourself before Yahweh for battle, and all your armed ones pass over the Yarden before Yahweh, until he has driven out his enemies from before him, and the land has been subdued before Yahweh, then afterward you shall return and be guiltless before Yahweh and before Israel, and this land shall be your possession before Yahweh. But if you do not do so, then see, You shall sin against Yahweh, and now your sin is going to find you out. Build cities for the little ones and enclosure for your sheep, and do what you have promised. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spoke to Moshe, saying, Your servants are going to do as my master commands. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all our livestock are going to be there in their cities of Gilead. But your servants are passing over every armed one of the army before Yahweh to battle, as my master says. And Moshe gave the command concerning them to Eleazar the Kohen, to Yeshua son of Nun, and to the head of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel. And to Moshe said to them, If the children of Gad and the children of Reuben pass over the Jordan with you, every man armed from the battle before Yahweh, and the land has been subdued before you, then you shall give them the land of Gilead as a possession. But if they do not pass over armed with you, they shall have possession among you in the land of Canaan. Then the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, As Yahweh said to your servant, so we do. And we ourselves are passing over armed before Yahweh into the land of Canaan, but the possession of our inheritance remains with us beyond the Jordan. So Moshe gave to the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben and to half of the tribe of Manasseh and son of Joseph the reign of Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, and the reign of Og, sovereign of Bashan, and the land with its cities within the borders, the cities of the land round about. And the children of Gad built Dibon and Ataroth and Aroi and Atroth, Shofan and Yazer and Yagbeha and Beth and Nimrath and Beth Haran, walled cities and enclosures for sheep. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon and Ereale and Kiriathaim and Nebo and Baal Meon, the names being changed, and Shibma. And they gave others names to the cities which they built. And the son of Machir, son of Manasseh, went to Gilead and took it, and disposed the Amorites who were in it. So Moshe gave Gilead to Machir, son of Manasseh, and he dwelt in it. And Yair, son of Manasseh, went and took it small town, and called them Hawoth Yair. And Noba went and took Kenath and its village, and he called it Noba, and his own name. Numbers
Chapter number 33, verse number 1. These are the departures of the children of Israel who went out of the land of Mizraim by their divisions under the hand of Moshe and Aaron. And Moshe wrote down the starting points of their departures at the command of Yahweh, and these are their departures according to their right starting points. So they departed from Ramesses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month, on the morrow of the Pesach of the children of Israel, went out with a high hand before the eyes of all the Mizrahites. And the Mizrahites were bearing all the firstborn whom Yahweh had smitten among them. Also on the mighty ones Yahweh had executed judgment. Then the children of Israel departed from Ramesses and camped at Succoth. And they departed from Succoth and camped at Etham, which is on the edge of the wilderness. And they departed from Etham and turned back to Hapiroth, which is before Baal-Zephon. And they camped near Migdol. And they departed from before Hahiroth and passed over through the midst of the sea into the wilderness, went 3 days' journey in the wilderness of Etham and camped at Marah. And they departed from Marah and came to Erim, and Erim were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees, so they camped there. And they departed from Erim and camped by the sea of the reeds. And they departed from the sea of the reeds and camped in the wilderness of Sin. And they departed from the wilderness of Sin and camped at Dovka. And they departed from Dovka and camped at Arush. And they departed from Arush and camped at Rephidim, and there was no water for the people to drink. And they departed from Rephidim and camped in the wilderness of Sinai. And they departed from the wilderness of Sinai and camped in Kibroth, or at Tower. And they departed from Kibroth and Hatawa and camped at Hetzroth. And they departed from Hetzroth and camped at Arithmoi. And they departed from Arithmoi and camped at Rimmon Peretz. And they departed from Rimmon Peretz and camped at Ribnah. And they departed from Ribnah and camped at Risa. And they departed from Risa and camped at Kehereth. And they departed from Kehereth and camped at Mount Saphar. And they departed from the Mount Saphar and camped at Harada. And they departed from Harada and camped at Macheroth. And they departed from Macheroth and camped at Tahath. And they departed from Tahath and camped at Terah. And they departed from Terah and camped at Mithka. And they departed from Mithka and camped at Hashmonah. And they departed from Hashmonah and camped at Mesorath. And they departed from the Mesorath and camped at Bnei Yakan. And they departed from Bnei Yakan and camped at Hol Haggidad. And they departed from Haggidad and camped at Yotbata. And they departed from Yotbatha and camped at Abrona. And they departed from Abrona and camped at Etzion Gebel. And they departed from Etzion Gebel and camped in the wilderness of Sin, which is Kadesh. And they departed from Kadesh and camped on Mount Hor, and the boundary of the land of Edom. And then Aharon the Kohen went up on the Mount of Hor at the command of Yahweh, and died there in the 14th year after the children of Israel had come out of the land of Mizraim on the first day of the first day of the 5th month. Now Haran was 123 years when he died on Mount Hor. And the sovereign of Arad, the Canaanite, who dwelt in the Negeb in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the children of Israel. So they departed from Mount Hor and camped at Samona. And they departed from Samona and camped at Punon. And they departed from Punon and camped at Oboth. And they departed from Oboth and camped at Dereh and Abraham at the border of Moab. And they departed from Iyim and camped at Dibon-Gad. And they departed from Dibon-Gad and camped at Almon Dibrathayema. And they departed from Almon Dibrathayema and camped in the mountains of Abarim from Nebo. Before Nebo, they departed from the mountains of Abarim and camped in the desert plains of Moab and Yared of Jericho. And they camped by the Yalen and by the Be'ez, Yeshimoth, as far as Baal Shittim in the desert plains of Moab. And Yahweh spoke to Moses in the desert of plains of Moab and the Yalen of Jericho, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, When you have passed over the Jordan in the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and shall destroy their engraved stones, and shall destroy all their molded images, and lay waste all their high places. And you shall possess the land and dwell in it, for I have given you the land to possess. And you shall divide the land by lot, and as an inheritance among your clans. To the Raja you give a Raja inheritance, and to the smaller you give a smaller inheritance. Wherever the lot falls to anyone, that is his, you inherit according to the tribes of your fathers. And if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall be that those whom you let remain shall be pricks in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and they shall trouble you in the land where you dwell. And it shall be that I do to you as I thought to do to them. Bemidbar, or Numbers, chapter number 34. And it says, And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Command the children of Israel and say to them, When you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land which falls to you as an inheritance, the land of Canaan, to its boundaries. Then you say, then your southern border shall be from the wilderness of Sin along the border of Edom, and your southern border shall be eastward and the end of the salt sea. Then your border shall turn from the southern side of the ascent of Akrabim, continue to Sin, and to be on the south of Kadesh Benea, and it shall go on to Hatzal Adal, and continue in Asmon, and the border shall turn from Asmon to the Wadi of Mizraim, and it shall end at the sea. As for the western border, you shall have the great sea for a border. This is your western border, and this is your northern border. From the great sea you mark out of your borderline to Mount Hall. From Mount Hall you mark out your border to the entrance of Hamath, and the edge of the border shall be toward Seked, and the border shall proceed to Ziphron, and it shall end at Hazran Enan. This is your northern border, and you shall mark out your eastern border from Hatzal, Enan, and Sepham, and the border shall go down to Sepham and Ribra on the east side of Yain, and the border shall go down and reach to the eastern side of the sea of Kinnerath, and the border shall go down along the Alden, and it shall end at the salt sea. This is your land with its surrounding boundaries. And Moshe commanded the children of Israel, saying, this is the land which you inherit by lot, which Yahweh has commanded to give you to the 9 tribes of the half, to the half tribe, for the tribe of the children of Reuben according to their house of their fathers, and the tribe of the children of Gad according to the house of their fathers, have received the inheritance, and the half tribe of the Manasseh has received its inheritance. The 2 tribes and the half tribe have received the inheritance beyond the Alden of Jericho, eastward toward the sunrise. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, these are the names of the men who divide the land among you as an inheritance. Eliezer the Kohen and Joshua the son of Nun, take 1 leader of every tribe and divide the land for the inheritance. And these are the names of the men from the tribe of Yehuda: Caleb the son of Yefuneh, and from the tribe of the children of Shimon, Shemuel the son of Amihud; from the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad son of Kisron, and Arida; from the tribe of the children of Dan, Buki son of Yogri; from the sons of Yosef, Arida; from the tribe of the children of Manasseh, Haniel son of Ephod; and Arida; from the tribe of the children of Ephraim, Kemuel son of Shiftan; and the Arida; from the tribe of the children of Zebulun, Aristaphan son of Parnak; and the Arida; from the tribe of the children of Yisakal, Paltriel son of Azan; and the Arida; from the tribe of the children of Asher, Ahidud the son of Shelomi; and Arida; from the tribe of the children of Naphtali, Padahel of Amihud. These are the ones Yahweh commanded to divide the inheritance among the children of Israel in the land of Canaan. Bemidbar, all Numbers, chapter number 35, verse number 1. It says, and Yahweh spoke to Moshe in the desert of Prince of Moab by the Alden of Jericho, saying, command the children of Israel that they shall give the Levite cities to dwell in from the inheritance of their portions, also give the Levites open land around the cities, and they shall have the cities to dwell in, their open land for their cattle, for their herds, and for their livestock. And the open land of the cities which you give to the Levites are from the wall of the city outward 1,000 armor all around. And you shall measure outside the city of the east side 2,000 armor, and on the southern side 2,000 armor, and on the west side 2,000 armor, and on the north side 2,000 armor, and the city is in the middle. This is to them the open land to the cities. And the cities which you give to the Levites are 6 cities of refuge which you give to him who killed someone to free, and to this you add 42 cities. All the cities which you give to the Levites are 48, this with their open land. And these cities which you give are from the possession of the children of Israel. From the larger you give many, from the smaller you give few. Each one gives some of its cities to the Levites in proportion to the inheritance that each inherits. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when you pass over the Alden into the land of Canaan, then you shall choose cities to the one who accidentally killed someone shall free there, and there it is not to die until he stand before the congregation in right ruling. And of the cities which you give, 6 are to be cities of refuge. Give 3 cities beyond the Alden, and give 3 cities in the land of Canaan as cities of refuge. These 6 cities are for refuge for the children of Israel, and for the sojourner, and for the shelter in their midst, for anyone who accidentally kills someone to free there. But if he has smitten with him as an instrument of iron, so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall certainly be put to death. And if he has smitten him with a stone in the hand by which one could die, and he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall certainly be put to death. Or if he has smitten him with a wooden instrument that could kill, and he dies, and he is a murderer, the murderer shall certainly be put to death. The revenger of blood himself puts the murderer to death. Then when he meets him, he puts him to death. And if he thrusts him through in hatred, or overthrows him while laying in wait, so that he dies, or in enmity he smites him with his hand so that he dies, the one who smote him shall certainly be put to death, for he is a murderer. The revenge of the blood puts the murderer to death when he meets him. But if he pushes him suddenly without enmity, or throws him without lying in wait, or uses a stone by which a man could die, throwing it at him without seeing him, so that he dies, while he was not in his enemy or seeking his harm, then the congregation shall judge between him who killed someone and the revenger of the blood according to the light rulings. Then the congregation shall rescue the one who killed someone from the hand of the revenger of blood, and the congregation shall return to him to the city of refuge where he had fled, and he shall remain there until the death of the Kohen Hagadol, who was anointed with the Kadosh oil. But if the one who killed someone at any time goes outside the limits of the city of the refuge where he fled, and the revenger of blood finds him outside the limits of the city of refuge, and the revenger of blood kills him who killed someone, he is not guilty of blood, because he should have remained in his city of refuge until the death of the Kohen Hagadol. But after the death of the Kohen Hagadol, he who killed someone is to return to the land of his possession. And this shall be for a law of right ruling to you throughout all your generation in all your dwellings. Whoever kills someone has to be put to death as a murderer by the mouth of witnesses, but one witnesses does not bear witness against someone to die, and take no ransom for the life of a murderer who is guilty of death. But he shall certainly be put to death, and take no ransom for him who has fled to his city of refuge to return to dwell in the land before the death of the Kohen. And do not profane the land where you are, for your blood profanes the land, and the land is not pardoned for the blood that is shed on it, except by the blood of him who shed it. And do not defile the land which you inhabit, in the midst of which I dwell. For I, Yahweh, I am dwelling in the midst of the children of Israel. Bemidbar chapter number 36, and the last verse of Numbers, verse number 1. And the heads of the fathers of the clans of the children of Gilead, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, of the clans of the sons of Joseph, came near to speak before Moshe and before the readers, the heads of the fathers of the children of Israel, and said, I, Yahweh, commanded my master to give the lands as an inheritance by law to the children of Israel, and my master was commanded by Yahweh to give the inheritance of our brother Salphehad to his daughters. Now, if they are married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then their inheritance shall be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be added to the inheritance of the tribe into which they marry, and taken from the lot of our inheritance. And if your veil of the children of Israel takes place, then their inheritance shall be added to the inheritance of the tribe in which they marry, and the inheritance taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers. And Moshe commanded the children of Israel according to the word of Yahweh, saying, what the tribe of the sons of Joseph speaks is right. This is the word which Yahweh has commanded for the daughters of Fehad, saying, let them marry who is good in their eyes, but let them marry only within the clan of their father's tribe. And the inheritance of the children of Israel is not the change hands of the tribe to tribe, for everyone of the children of Israel is to cling to the inheritance of each the inheritance of his fathers. Thus the inheritance is not to change the hands from one tribe to another, but every tribe of the children of Israel to cling into its own inheritance, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And so did the daughters of Zelophehad, for Mara, Tirza, and Hogra, And Milcah and Orpah, the daughters of Zelophehad, were married to the sons of their father's brothers, and they were married into the clans of the children of Manasseh, the sons of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of their father's clan. These are the commands and the light rulings which Yahweh commanded the children of Israel by the hand of Moshe in the desert of plains of Moab by the Alden of Jericho. Now we have come to the end of the book of Numbers. Once again we say Toda Rabba to Yahweh. Much thanks to Yahweh, and also to our viewers, to those who are commenting on Messianic Davasho, and also as well as Injiri ya Milele Asho Messiah. Make sure also as well as Facebook page at Victor Kiiru, and also at Yahweh Sacred Assembly page. When you follow us, may Yahweh guide you, and may the peace of Yahweh be upon you. And also as we go through the journey through the scriptures of Yahweh, and now we have completed the book of Numbers in Hebrews Bemidbar, and to the next book that is coming is the book of Devarim or Deuteronomy, the final book of Torah, the 5 books of Moshe. And we thank Yahweh to where we are. So we say that Yahweh do you good and guard you, and may his face shine upon you and bless and keep you all the days of your life, as well as we go through the scriptures of Yahweh, and also for nourishment of our inner persons, and also for our benefit and all esteem back unto Yahweh. May Yahweh do you